First off, we got great respect for Buffalo. I've known Coach Alcovich a long time. We were GAs together at Villanova. His teams are going to compete. You can already see the change from year 1 to year 2 for them. They got some really good young guys. So I thought our team did a great job, right? I think Ryan Sable's a heck of a player. Our goal was to take away his threes, so going 0 for 8 was big for us. And then trying to guard them without fouling. You know, Sable shoots 90-something% from the foul line. But was really proud. I think we held them scoreless the last 5:29 in the first half. I think that sent the message we need to do that earlier. Before you ask, I don't know why we didn't do it earlier, but we will work on it. And then the second half, it's just finishing games, right? I thought we held them to probably around 30, and in the last 2 minutes, it's a couple easy buckets, and they're pressing in those situations. So, but proud of these guys. You know, I'm proud that we went 5-0 in the non-conference at home. I think that's important. You know, there's teams in our league that played 9 home games. You know, we played 5. So proud of these guys. So we challenge ourselves to get ready for league play.
Questions for Quante and Jamal?
Quante, Buffalo has cut that lead down to 8 points. That would have been part in the second half. You get that steal and put that dunk down, and then all of a sudden the momentum goes back your guys' way. What was kind of going through your head and kind of after that moment as well?
Well, you know, I was just trying to make the right play for my team when we needed it. So that's all that was going through my head, was just make the dunk.
And for you, Jamal, you had a great shooting performance in that second half. Was there something different Buffalo was showing, or was it just you kind of found your shot there in the second half?
I mean, they were kind of switching up different defenses. They started off in man, then they went to zone, and they pressed, and they switched 1 through 5. So they were doing a lot of different stuff to try to, you know, off-put our rhythm. So I was just taking what the defense was giving me, and you know, just continue to be aggressive.
Quante, that sequence shows how important you've been to the team this year. Last year, not as big of an impact. This year, I think you're averaging more than 8 points. And when you missed that game against Villanova, like, you could see your absence was felt. What has led to you being such a big part of the team this year? And then Jamal, how big of a part is Quante to the team?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without him, I wouldn't even be here. And just a lot of prayer, a lot of reps, you know, talking with coaches, watching film from last year, this year. I think all that just plays a part into it, and then just the timing.
Yeah, I mean, just to go based off of that, I mean, he's been a big part of our team, and I'm always in his ear about something because I see the potential in him and how good he can really be, man. So, you know, he's great. He's going to continue to be great, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's all him. He knows what he got to do. He knows his talent. He knows his worth. So he's going to continue to show it.
Jamal, so Coach didn't want us to ask him why it took a while for the defense to start clicking. Why do you think? You know, it took a little bit, and then it was really clicking.
I mean, I think it's really just communication and just going with what the game has given us. And I mean, it's been a story for us all year, just communicating on defense, finishing possessions. So we just got to continue to get better. And every day is a 1% chance to get better. And you know, we got a day off tomorrow, but then we got to practice, prepare for Wichita State, who's a really good team, and we'll be just fine. So communication, I would say.
Last few games for you, was it just you weren't quite, you know, efficiency-wise, you weren't as good, you weren't hitting quite as many, just percentage-wise. Was something a little bit off that you tweaked, fixed?
I don't really keep track of that.
Yeah.
I keep track of winning and loss column. So I don't. It's basketball. I mean, we're gonna miss and make shots. I can't make every shot. So.
I wanted to ask the dunk, you kind of followed up with the 3-pointer. What was the defense kind of showing you there, and what you kind of see on that shot?
I think when I shot that, it was like late in the shot clock, so we just had to get something up. So, you know, I just shot it.
Just kind of like, you know, you had 13 points in that second half. What did you kind of see out there, and how comfortable did you kind of get going further into that second half?
I think. Hold on, can you ask that again?
In that second half, you had 13 points. Just how comfortable were you kind of in that second half? What did you kind of see from the defense out there?
Yeah, I definitely was more comfortable. You know, that's just human nature. But as long more you're in the game, the more comfortable you're gonna get throughout the game. So I think that helped, and what I seen open was a lot of transition buckets and transition.
Anything else for the guys?
Jamal, how is your sort of chemistry coming along? You're now starting alongside Lynn.
It's coming along great. I mean, you know, he's a special player, and you know, I know numbers aren't really showing that right now, but I mean, he's gonna stay confident, and You know, he has a professional family, so I mean, he has a professional mindset. But it's been great. I mean, it gets 1% better every day. You know, I can't tell you what the finished product's gonna look like, but I know it'll look good. So we're just gonna keep getting better. We got a day off tomorrow, and then we got practice on whatever day it is. We got practice coming up.
Jamal, you mentioned wins and losses. You guys are 8-5 in the non-conference. You picked 6th in the preseason in the American. Based on what you did in non-conference, how do you feel going into the American, and what do you think you guys can do in the league this year?
We feel very confident. I mean, we feel like we can be one of the best teams. We just got to go out there and continue to show it, improve it, and doing things together and staying together during adverse moments. Because you know this year is still such a long year, even though we're at quite about the middle of the point. So we just got to stay together, and then the sky's the limit for us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate the coach.
Adam, do you see sort of the same Jamal over the course of these games where his numbers weren't quite where they were? He came out at the start of the season.
Yeah, you know, I think, right, you know the name, then you see the film, so he's going to be number 1 on everybody's scouting report. You know, I thought he had some really good looks. Last game at Springfield, Mass, you know, he had a great layup. It was a great look. I take that shot at any time with 58 seconds to go. You know, we have great confidence in him, and I think, you know, our ability to play him a few less minutes is really helpful, right? I think we have a ton of guys, so we're not having to play him 39, 40 minutes a game. I think it helps him, and he's just a guy that we have great confidence in.
Was this you had Mateo kind of ready for inserting against that zone today?
He's always ready. You know, we just come into practice. Look, I've said it all year. Our 2 teams, we move guys around. Practice is really competitive. Like it's a fight. Like probably 50-50 split who wins. We go cherry white. We do different drills. Losing team's got to run in 22, so that brings it up even more. Even at shoot around, we do a drill where hey, losers got to run in 22 at the first practice after the next game. So I think credit to our assistant coaches, and I think they do a great job of keeping everybody ready, so that when their number is called, they're ready to go.
Rebounding's obviously been something that you've been preaching for a long time. Obviously, to be able to win the rebounding battle today, not only there but in the offensive board as well, which has been a struggle. Was there anything that you guys have kind of changed up when it comes to that, or just guards coming in, or what kind of helped you guys with the rebounding?
Yeah, you know, I think I'd have to go back and look, but I think the last 4 games we've done a much better job. You know, we showed our team some numbers, and our first shot defense was like 0.77 points per possession, which is excellent, right? You don't win a lot of games. And then we give up an offensive rebound, and it jumps to like 1.18, and you're like, well, there you go, right? So we've got to do a great job. We emphasize it. We really focused on our guys going to the glass and getting more opportunities. I thought, you know, you look at the Davidson game, Elijah Gray's offensive rebounds were huge in that game. So I think it's just more comfortable knowing what we're trying to do. But yeah, rebounding obviously and defense are the 2 staples that we try to focus on.
And the guard play as well. I mean, you had 4 different guards finish with double-digit points, and while like Shane Zoni also has had a really big step up these last couple of games, starting a little slow and both ends of the 4th minute. But how have you felt about the guards in total and Shane Zoni specifically as well?
Yeah, you know, Shane, I think I said this before, Shane missed the first 25 practices of the season, right? So now you're in preseason, you're ready for the first game, and he comes back for like the last 3 practices in place, so it's going to take some time. But again, I think we have a lot of guys. I think our minutes were balanced there, our shot attempts were balanced, and I think that's what we've preached. Like, if you don't care about your numbers, and you heard Mashburn say, if you really care about winning and losing, you can do something special. And that's been our whole focus. You know, again, there's a guy, Dylan Battie, who's probably shooting, 79% of the year, didn't get in today, but he was great in Rhode Island. Just was different matchup things, and he knows that, and he knows we need him. So I think when you can put the team first, and that's what we've really tried to focus on since the time we got together this summer.
Coach, you told me before the season that Quante was looking great, so I don't think what he's doing is a surprise to you, maybe to outsiders, but what has he done that's made him so good, and how important is he to what you're doing this year?
He stayed. How many guys stay now, right? If you do a stat, I'd love to see a project on guys that stay in a program with all this transfer portal and people moving around. He stayed, and I think he continued to know our system, so now you're not learning concepts, now you're just working on your game. And I think he did an amazing job. Great credit to him all summer, all fall, working on his game. And now the other stuff's easy to him. We can call a set. He knows what we're trying to do defensively. So I think staying has been the key. And I think it's something that you'll see. I hope we see more of it across the country. Guys stay and get better in a program like it used to be.
And similar to what I asked Jamal, how do you feel about how the non-conference went, and then looking ahead to American, based on what you've done, what do you think you can do?
Yeah, I think we challenged ourselves. Our schedule, I looked at it last night going into this game. I think we were third in our league in non-conference strength of schedule. Right, you have 5 home games. You're on the road or neutral site for 8. I think that 5 home games is the least amount any team has played in our league. But we do that to prepare us for league play. You go and play 3 games in 7 days against a really good Hofstra team on the road. Then you come back and play a really good Davidson team at home. Then you go to Springfield, Mass, and play Rhode Island. Those are tough games. So I think we scheduled that way to prepare for the league. And look, would you like to have won a couple more? Sure. We also could have lost a couple more too. So you got to learn from each one and keep getting better. That's what I think we're doing. I thought we've gotten better each game since Villanova. Probably we've gotten better each game.
What is your sort of perspective on Lynn now, 2 weeks in, chemistry-wise with guys, his shot, all that stuff?
Yeah, it's going to come, right? It's again another guy who you're on scout team for a while. Now you flip back over, and then injuries occur, and now you're going to start a lineup, right? So it's things of that nature. I think just we got to continue to grow, and we got to continue to know that we've got a lot of guys that we're confident in. He's one of them. We're really confident. We've all seen him play in this room at other universities. He's a really good player.
Coach, I'm not sure if you talked to these guys about it, but Coach L retiring, I know he means a lot to you. What can you say about his retirement and how important he's been to your career?
Yeah, I mean, I owe everything to Coach L. Thursday was a hard day. It really was. He's the person I look up most to in this industry. He's the person I call whenever I need something or a question, not to mention his best assistant coach ever, his wife, Mrs. L. But he's the greatest. I don't think anybody can build a program the way he's done it. He's won at 3 places that have historically not won through the years. Now, again, they have some good teams, but to do that at 3 places, he's somebody special. He's a Hall of Famer. And again, I can't tell you, he's family to us. It was emotional for me when I found out, and then I got to talk to him. And basically, I just told him I love him, I'm grateful, and there's not a day since I've been a head coach that I don't make a decision or do something that is because of what I learned from him. And that's what I told him. Every day I make decisions based on my experience being around Coach L. So like I said, he's the best. I hope he can watch us play a little bit more now, give you some feedback.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.